Good morning. Welcome to morning practice with Olivia on Wednesday, December 6th. I think I said in yesterday's practice it was the 6th of December, and I was just a little bit muddled, as one can be. And yes, the 6th of December is when Neptune is stationing direct, which should shift some very interesting energies for all of us. Excuse me while I readjust my clothing. I just realized this is not feeling comfortable. So yeah, what do we think about when we think about Neptune stationing direct? Just a clearer channel with our spiritual and artistic, creative expression, forward movement, any outpouring of your unique expression of your spirituality, your creativity, your more intuitive self is heightened in a more direct way. And we'll really be feeling the influence of that as we go forward. And all of the outer planets begin to go direct by early into next year, 2024. I am an armchair astrologer, I have to admit, but it's a fun practice, noting how the kind of wider patterns of the planets have a relationship to the more personal and collective patterns that we experience here on Earth, because that's all it is, really, is patterning, which we're really good at as humans. And I think the practice of yoga helps me to observe and investigate my patterns, not necessarily judge them or make them wrong, but observe where I do have patterns, both in my movement or in my attitude, my ideas about my body. Yoga is such a liberating practice to observe ourselves through. It's a great lens of awareness as we move through different habitual relationships we might have to how our body functions, and re-examine them and investigate that. So I'm really glad that you're here with me investigating these things. It is a very sort of introspective feeling morning, the 6th of December. It's a little bit foggy out here in San Francisco. It feels like the kind of day that you could spend inside by the fire and just reflect on everything that's happened in the last year. As a complete aside, yesterday while I was at work, you know how our phones do these things where they send you something like the year in review. And I usually just don't even look at these things. It's not something I'm wanting to see. And but I was sort of tickled yesterday, and just decided to watch whatever my phone created as the year in review. And it was actually lovely. It was humorous. It was filled with all of these significant events that were beautiful. And AI, for what it's worth, is a kind of sentience. And I couldn't help feeling appreciative on some level. There's a lot to be scared of. There's a lot to have caution around. But to take pleasure where it's appreciated. I mean, it was actually really quite sweet. And it's not something I'm going to watch ever again or share, but it was just a moment of, yeah, that was my year. That was definitely my year. And it was fun. It was a good year. And so I invite you to, instead of, well, I don't know what your relationship to AI and technology is. But we are moving into a time in the world where it's so prevalent, and Yes, be cautious. Yes, have limits. Do what is right for you. That's so important right now. But there will be a point for all of us where we have to engage on some level. And if you can engage in a playful, joyful way of gratitude for whatever it's bringing, at the same time having firm boundaries against what you don't want it to bring, I think that's good. It's almost like parenting. Not that I'm a parent, but parenting AI from my little corner, Olivia's little corner. So I'm rambling on this morning. Thank you for joining me. Let's drop into some nice meditation. You may want to sit on a block. Where's my other block? I'm sitting on my block, but I don't see my other block. Oh, here it is. It's dark. Yoga blocks are your friend. They really are. And if you don't have a block to sit on, some blankets like these can be useful, cushions, or just finding a comfortable seat in a chair. We've been focusing a little bit on the second Yoga Sutra, which is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And basically, the thing to know about the Yoga Sutras and translation is that translation is myriad. Each word in Sanskrit, yogas, chittas, vritti, nirodha, has multiple meanings. It's sort of this beautiful, I imagine it as this many-layered dial where you kind of click on the word and then thousands of meanings for each one in very subtle layered ways. And then they are construed together. It's very kind of powerful language of energies, even more so than particularly linear words and meaning. So what happens when we translate the Yoga Sutras is that there is a sort of overall gleaning, because there isn't an exact translation. There's a mellifluous myriad translation that's always changing. It's a process. It's not an exactitude. So in our mellifluous myriad way, we are leaning into yogas, chittas, vritti, nirodha, as the practice of yoga being the calming of the whirling of the minds. In order to see clearly, in order to have clarity, we practice yoga to dispel the distractions and the movements and the so many ways of looking at the chittas and the vritti. But they are an essential part of our spiritual path. They make us who we are, and they are our opportunity to engage and observe our own engagement with not just our own minds, but how we react and meet every situation that we encounter. So thank you, yogas, chittas, vritti, nirodha. And we will find a wonderful seat here. I just have to adjust mine because I can feel myself slightly falling off my block. Feel like you're solidly placed, and we'll do a few minutes meditation. Yeah. So just find a nice, tall, straight spine. Allow your eyes to close. Let's take maybe 2 breaths where we inhale and sigh it out, exhale. So inhale. Ha. And again, inhale. And allow yourself to just feel quiet, observing the breath breathing you. You're not placing any intention on your breath. Your inhaling happens, your exhaling happens. And you can just begin to notice how your body is in this moment, how you're feeling in this moment. What is the body in this moment? And allow it to be what it is. Welcome it. Welcome all parts of you that are showing up to be observed this morning. Just breathing in and breathing out. Is the mind? Where is the mind? Mind is always on a bit of a journey. And you can almost go inside and see yourself observing that process, that mind, that brilliant and articulate and interesting, but also quite nagging and quite demanding and needing your attention here. And this has to be done later. And please don't forget about this today. And it's all in front of you. And you just observe it and smile and bow and say, thank you, mind. I'm so grateful for all you do and how well you help me to structure my life and my day. I'm just going to take a step backwards away from engaging for this next hour or so. To be in my body, to notice my breath, to connect to my heart. And I know that you will be here in tandem with me, but I'm having a temporary separation from engagement. And as if to reinforce that with gratitude, bowing to the mind, we might bring the hands together in prayer and just offer that gratitude to the mind. And then maybe take that prayer and just rub the hands together, feeling the warmth and energy of your hands. Not vigorously, just gently. These amazing, amazing articulate instruments of incredible dexterity and sophistication, these hands. And maybe just again, bow into the hands. Let the fingers lightly touch the third eye. Thank you, hands. Thank you. Thank you for your energy, your creativity, all the things that I don't notice during the day that you do to help me. Thank you, hands. You may even want to kiss your fingers. Kiss your thumbs if you want to. They do so much for us, our hands. And then we may bring our hands just to cover our heart center, holding our heart, feeling the warmth of the energy from our hands connecting with the life force of our heart. And let's just be in silence as we feel appreciation for our hands, for our heart, for the light within our hearts. And how we can send that light, that love that life force in any direction we choose. If there is a situation in the world, a place, a people, a person that you would like to offer the benefit of your practice to today, and I really emphasize that person could be you. I'm here for me today. I'm here to hold space for myself. I encourage you to really embrace that. And we'll take a moment or two in silence. And just deepen that breath. Feel yourself breathing in just a little bit more deeply, a little bit more intentionally. You can let your hands fall to your lap. Maybe just softly open the eyes. Keep a gentle focus on the floor in front of you. And if you need to move, if you need to recross your legs, if you need to, I'm going to recross my legs because we've been sitting in one position for a while. Yeah, let's take a nice big breath in together and a nice out. Big breath in. Let's do 3 ohms together. So we'll inhale and om 3 times. What I've noticed is this mic cuts out, so it might look like and sound like I'm not oming anymore, but I look like I'm still doing it. So it usually is. I'm not sure why that is. Anyway, technical details. So inhale. Om. 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 Let's just come back. We'll do a little bit of pranayama breath work. And I realize I have been mentioning the 7 limbs of yoga because pranayama breath work is one of them, as is meditation. and asana, which is our movement practice, which we will do some today. But it makes me think that I'm going to talk more about the 7 limbs of yoga next week and what they all are. I mean, it's a rich subject. We're not going to be able to comprehensively get into it, but I'd love to give you an overview because it's a great way of knowing that each part of our consciousness, whether it's consciousness of breath, consciousness of movement, consciousness of inner stillness, and how we examine that and our behavior in the world, which goes into the other limbs of the yoga practice. It's just a really great overview. So more to come there. And let's just do some nice, I'm going to have you take your pointer finger and your middle finger, and I'm going to take my glasses off for this, and just place it between your eyebrows. And then you're going to take your ring finger and close your left nostril. And then you're going to breathe in on the right nostril and close. Then you will release your left nostril and exhale through your left nostril. And close. And then open that left nostril again. Inhale. Close the left nostril. Open the right nostril and exhale. And again, inhale through the right nostril. Close. Open the left nostril and exhale. Inhale through the left nostril. And close. Open the right nostril and exhale. Inhale through the right nostril. Close. And exhale through the left nostril. And we'll just keep doing that for a minute or so. I just keep doing it on your own. If it's uncomfortable for any reason, just breathe normally. As you're ready, you can release that hand down to your lap again. You may need a tissue. Sometimes doing the breath work, things come up, and so feel free to grab a tissue if you want one. We'll get started on the mat. Let's start on our back today. If you have blocks, that would be great. I feel like I want to start in a bit of a supported bridge, but really low. So it's going to be on this setting. If you don't have a block, just a pillow, a sturdy-ish pillow, rolled up blankets that can create a bit of structure. Place something under the sacrum and then just let our bodies play out. I'm going to start our music. And the other thing I want to share is that I'm playing a little bit today with music volume. I've noticed in the videos that I can barely hear the music. So if the volume is too loud today, let me know. Please email me feedback. But I'm just trying a little bit of a louder volume because I do put thought into the music and then I realize I can't hear it at all. So let's go. I'll meet you on the mat. And yeah, I would say stay cozy at this point because we're not jumping right into a lot of movement. I've got leg warmers on, I've got nice jumper on, I've got my hat, of course. When does Olivia not have her hat? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna start on our back. And just lie down here. And before you grab the block or anything, just let your knees windshield wiper right to left. I'm gonna just make sure everything is feeling in the place you want it to be. If you have clothing adjustments you want to make, please do. Just let that sacrum really be soft. And you may even, let's bring our knees in and hold our knees with our hands and just take some knee circles in one direction and knee circles in the other direction. And then as you're ready, and it's probably gonna be difficult to see with my enormous jumper on, but I'm gonna take a block on its lowest setting. So even if you have a couple of big books, that can work. And you're gonna lift your hips as if you're going into bridge and just slide that block underneath your sacrum. And your sacrum is just above your tailbone, base of the spine. You can see where it's placed here. I've kind of pulled my sweater. So just there, it feels really good and supported. And then just allow the weight of your body to sink into your block. You might bring one knee in and just hold the knee as you let your sacrum melt into the block. And then bring that knee down, other knee in. And then we're just gonna allow the right leg, and feel free to just place your hands on your body. Maybe place your hands in your ribs. Right leg is gonna come out to straight. Left leg is gonna come out to straight. We'll just be here, allowing the body to melt onto the block. The supported, very gentle back bend. Allowing our legs to stretch out. Allowing, just using the weight of our body to melt. And you're gonna bring your knees in again and to bend, knees point up to the ceiling. And we'll just take that block out from underneath you. And once again, windshield wiper the knees in either direction. And then you might take your right ankle on your left knee and just pull that in. Holding either the back of the thigh, the knee, just holding wherever feels comfortable to you. Very slight figure four stretch on the back. And then you can let that go. Press into your left foot, move the hips to the right, and just allow the figure four to drop to the left. And using your left hand, you're just gonna press gently again into that right thigh, pushing it away from you, not vigorously, just a very gentle pressure here. And then we'll let that come back up. Uncross your legs, let's reset the pelvis. And then we'll take the left ankle on the right knee, draw your right knee in. You can hold on to the thigh or the knee, gently stretching out, figure four stretch on your back. Breathing deeply. And then releasing. Again, you're going to press into your right foot, lift the pelvis, and just nudge it slightly to the left, allowing the whole figure four to just drop to the right. And then you're going to take your right palm, press it into your left thigh, and just gently push it away, not vigorously, just a gentle push to open up the hips. And we'll just bring that back up and uncross your legs, windshield wiper the knees briefly, and then just curl into a fetal position on one side. Oh, and let yourself just gently press up the seat. And we'll come to all fours. Just now when you're here in all fours, allow yourself to just have some movement, maybe moving the hips side to side, moving the neck. You can do some cat-cows, just some intuitive movement, whatever your body needs. I'm going to press back into a child's pose for a moment. My knees are wide, my toes are touching, and my forehead is resting on the ground. And allowing the forehead to roll back and forth. Oh. I'm intuiting that we're going at a rather slower pace today. That's good. It's always good to sort of feel into things. And then you just, as you get all the bits of movement that you'd like here. Oh, it's interesting how, as we become more aware of our bodies, there's always more movement to explore, right? You're like, oh, I didn't reach that part of my lower hip. But let's move forward. So we'll arch, beaming the heart center forward and lifting the tailbone. And we'll round, dropping the head, curling the tailbone under, pulling the belly up. And again, just find movement here with your cat-cow that feels good. And then we're going to tuck our toes and press back to a downward dog. I'm just going to take my enormous sweater off. But as you're in your downward facing dog, just really feeling the legs, pedaling them out, letting the tailbone lift. Just let it be really gentle. And then bend both of your knees on your next inhale and exhale step gently, slowly towards the top of the mat.
This is a good place to have blocks for support.
I will demonstrate what I mean. If your blocks are at the top of your mat, when you come into a halfway lift with a straight spine and your crown of your head points forward, the blocks can be underneath your hands and they give you that extra extension.
And then allow yourself to forward fold, maybe grab your elbows, nod your head, moving from side to side. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, and then just gently roll up your spine vertebrae by vertebrae until you are vertical in Tadasana. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, prayer to heart. I give thanks for this body, this incredible instrument of consciousness, this unique receptor of pleasure, of flavor, of deliciousness, of play, this unique receptor of the beautiful world around me, all I receive, all I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And inhale your arms overhead. Prayer comes to heart. You give love and gratitude for all the incredible human beings that are in this world, that I get to connect with as friends, as family, community, the strangers I smile at in the street, the people who do things that make my life better that I'll never meet or know, but there's so many of them out there, the farmers, the workers that enable things, the people who make the public transportation run on time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Inhale, arms overhead, and prayer comes to heart. Thank you for this incredible planet. Thank you for its immense beauty, for all it does to sustain and nurture and support us. This is the most beautiful place. All those incredible places that we get to visit and the incredible places we get to live. The simple beauty of our gardens, and if not our gardens, the parks that we cycle through or rest in, the trees. Such a beautiful planet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Inhale, our arms come overhead. Exhale, we're going to forward fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right leg back. Right knee comes down. Press into your feet as you rise into your low lunge, sinking into your hips. Exhale, frame the front foot. Just do a little bit of movement in your Ardha Hanuman, half split. Rebend that front knee and step back. Lift the right leg, right foot comes between the hand, left knee comes down. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Allow yourself to sink in for a moment. Hands frame the front foot. And again, a little bit of movement here. Straightening and bending that front leg. Just gently saying, hello, Ardha Hanuman. Half Hanuman. And then rebend that leg. Step back to downward facing dog. Bend both your knees, look to the top of the mat. Step, halfway lift on the inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Prayer to heart. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to a downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Knees come down, chest comes down, full prostration. Arms flat by your sides, palms face down. thumbs point outward, and then pressing the hips into the earth. Lift the feet, lift the shoulders,
lift the arms. Shalabhasana, locust pose.
And then let that go. Hands come under your shoulders. Press back to your knees. Downward facing dog, and your right leg lifts. Right foot between hands. Your back heel will spin down. You're going to come up into a warrior two using support on your front knee if you need. Arms extend either side. Your front leg is bent. Your back leg is straight. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. If my hands were on your ribs, they'd be turning you towards the left side of your mat. So your whole torso is facing the left side, and the only thing facing the top is your gaze over the top of your right hand. And then you're going to inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior, reaching up overhead, feeling the length of the right side body from the hip right to the tips of the fingers, allowing the hand to drop to the neck. A little bit of encouragement from the left hand, if you like. And then straight out to warrior two, straighten the front leg, and we'll reach into a triangle. And having a block here can be handy to go underneath your hand to give you extra extension, or you can come to the floor or use your shin or foot. And then just turning the heart center up. Triangle. And then pressing into both feet, really use the strength of your legs to come back. You're going to make your feet into parallel, and you're going to turn your left foot towards the back of the mat. Your right foot is going to be parallel with the front of your mat, and you're now facing warrior two to the back of your mat. Again, imagine my hands on your ribs, turning you towards the long side of your mat, and your arms reach out. Front knee is bent, and the only thing that gazes over your left hand, the only thing that turns towards your left hand is your gaze. Left hand. Warrior two. Inhale, reach into that front arm. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Feeling the left side of the body from the hip to the tip of the finger. You may allow that left hand to come down, right hand gets the elbow. Just a little gentle encouragement. Heart facing up. Come back to your warrior two. Straighten that leg, and we do triangle on the other side. So reaching as far forward as we can to the edge of the mat, and then bringing our hand down to a block, our shin, the floor, letting the heart turn upward. Please make sure that your neck feels comfortable here. If it's uncomfortable to look up, you want to look down or look forward. It's really about finding what's right for you. Take a couple breaths in Trikonasana, triangle here. Just checking in. Very gentle practice today. And pressing into both feet, come up to straight. Again, we'll turn our feet to parallel. Hands come to hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Hands can come to blocks right here. You can just stay here with a flat back with your crown pointing forward, or you can come into the fold. Keeping the legs straight, keeping the hip points pressing up, and just allow yourself to be in the fold here. inhale just up to our hands. And we'll take our right hand to our left ankle. And then you're going to just look underneath that left armpit. Gentle forward fold twist. Using the weight of the body with gravity. Press up to both hands again. Reset the spine. And then we'll take the left hand to the right ankle, looking underneath the right armpit. Gentle forward fold twist, using gravity and the weight of the body. And then we'll push into both hands again. Reset the spine. We're going to turn our feet out from here. And our hands are going to come to our thighs. Just press into our thighs here, bend into the knees. You might dip one shoulder in. You might dip the other shoulder in. And you might do that again. Dipping one shoulder in. And then dipping the second shoulder. And then we'll be here keeping the knees bent and our arms reach up in offering, goddess pose. So we lift the heart center and give thanks and love and gratitude for all the amazing things that encompass our lives, our bodies, our families, the people, the communities, the planet, the work we do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then straighten everything to a 5-pointed star. Clap your hands over your head. Say Jai. Jai means victory. It's a really great way of expressing enthusiasm for what we're offering as it happens. And then I will remove some fluff from my lips and we will come into a seat. So you're going to come down. We'll do a nice seated twist. So bend your left knee underneath you so that the left foot is by the right hip. Right leg is going to go over top. And let's just give ourselves a cuddle and hold that leg in. Oh, that feels good. And you can even curl in here a little bit. That might feel nice. And then recenter. Right hand will come to the base of the spine. Left arm reaches up. Either hold the knee or hook the knee and just twist. Gentle twist. And let that go. Hands come to the left. Let's take a moment just to counter twist here. And then feeling, we're gonna go to the other side, but either you can just do that by switching the legs or you can press into your feet and then use your hands to draw a semicircle behind you. And then you're here on the other side as the right leg comes under and the left leg goes over. Because it's magic. Life is magic. That's basically what we're learning. So let's just hold that knee in and give it some love. Maybe rocking it a bit, maybe curling in. Take our left hand, base of the spine, right arm reaches, either holding the knee or hooking the knee with the elbow and finding your twist. Really lengthening the spine here and twisting.
inhaling to lengthen the spine and exhaling, just relaxing into that twist. And then inhale back to center. And we will just do a nice straddle forward fold. So have your legs out to either side. Remove any flesh from under the sit bones. So you're sitting nice and tall here. I really recommend having a block. So we're just going to allow ourselves to come forward with a straight spine, and to whatever degree that is for you. So you might even want 2 blocks, because sometimes one's hamstrings are tight. So this might be where you go. But when you're here, you can just let the forehead, the weight of the forehead, just rest into your block. Or maybe it's 1 block. If you have the accessibility and can come down with a lovely flat spine, just allow yourself to fold in. Wherever you are, let the weight of your forehead melt into the support underneath. And allow, as if using gravity, all the busyness, all the lists, it's just flowing out to the center of your forehead through your third eye, deep into the ground, deep into the earth, almost as if there was a drain through the third eye, and there was water in a vortex, slowly draining all of that energy and all of that busyness out of your mind and deep into the earth, deep into the center of the planet. You can almost visualize this vortex of water going miles beneath you from the point of contact of your third eye to your support. And you just watch all of that mental energy, that mental busyness draining away deep into the earth. And then we'll press back up. That felt good, didn't it? Oh, I like that one. My mind is empty. I encourage you to find a blanket. I'm going to encourage us to take an extra long Shavasana today. So you want to cover yourself with a blanket. That will be good. You're going to be on your back, lying down, arms at the side, palms face up. If you want an extra blanket for support under your head as a pillow, that can be good. A blanket over top of you to keep yourself cozy. And let's just, before we get too settled in, let's rub our hands together vigorously, create some heat. Rub, 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 keep rubbing. Not done yet. Rub, 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 rub. And then place those palms over your eyes, letting the bases of your hands just rest into the cheekbone. Feel your eyeballs sinking back into the socket. Feel the muscles around the eyeball resting. Letting gravity again support you as your eyeballs and your energy sink back. When you're ready, you can let your hands come to your side. Make sure you have a blanket over top of you if you want to be warm.
Allow yourself to just let go. Let go of any doing. There were little vortexes of energy at the tip of your tailbone, at the back of your head, the ankles, the heels, the knuckles of your hands, all of them draining the energy and the busyness of each area deep into the earth, draining away deep into the earth as your body relaxes more and more. Maybe start to bring a little bit of movement to your toes, to your fingers, gently rolling the head from side to side. Be very slow here, very intentional. And slowly make your way to one side, to the fetal position, just very gently, and pause here. Resting. And as you're ready, just press up to a seat. Eyes are soft and closed. You may bring hands to prayer. You may bring one hand over top of the other, connecting again to that magnetic field between the energy of your hands and the energy of your heart. And let's take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. And we'll inhale for an Om. So inhale together. Om. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for being beautiful, unique, creative, amazing souls. There's no one like you.
Please know that you are loved and appreciated with every step that you take. We can't do this without you. Please, thank you so much for everything you do and everything that you offer. And just know that I am so grateful to you for being my teacher. And I'm just so honored to be walking this path together with you. And I promise I'm going to do a long Shavasana that really is going to be long. I always think, oh, I'm getting there. It's going to be a long Shavasana. And then it doesn't happen. But I will get us in a really nice long Shavasana maybe tomorrow. So stay tuned. But thank you so much for practicing today with me, and really just have a beautiful day. Thanks. Take care, everyone.